So we get these typical questions where we're asked to prove whether or not an object will float or sink, and we're going to use Archimedes' principle to demonstrate how you should go about doing this. Now we have our dimensions for the object that we have in consideration, and it's 500 by 500 by 500 mil. So it's a cube, and we have its mass as well, which is 1,100 kilograms. Now the long and short of this is, as you can see on our diagram, we have two forces acting. One right here, which is representing our upthrust using the letter P. So that's our upthrust. And we also have mg, which is mass times gravity, and that's representing the weight of our object. So this here is representing the weight of our object. Now, to prove whether or not the object that we have here will float or sink, we're going to have to consider those two quantities very carefully. And if our upthrust is greater than our weight when we do our calculations, then we know that this object will float. But if our upthrust is not greater than our weight, then we know the object will sink. So let's get into how we would determine that. So a fundamental formula that we will use is our density formula that says density is equal to mass divided by volume. And I'll just correct the symbol that we'll use for density, which is rho. Now let's evaluate first of all the volume that we have here of the object. And because this is just 500 by 500, it's quite straightforward. So we'll just do 0.5 cubed, or just 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5, and that will give us the volume. And that's because this is a cube. So depending on the shape, we'll have different formula that we use to calculate our volume. So this happens to be 0.125 meters cubed. So that's the volume. Now, since we already know what the mass of the object is, then we can calculate the weight. And using this formula, which is mass times gravity, that will give us the weight. So if we work out then the weight, that's just going to be our mass that we have right here, which is 1,100. And we'll multiply that now by gravity, which is, we'll use 9.81. So what we have then for the weight is 10.79. And I'm just going to write this as kilonewtons to save space. So it's 10.79 times 10 to the power of 3, or we can say 10.79 kilonewtons. So you will notice here that I'm using the weight as a form of force, hence the unit is in newtons. Now let's determine the mass of the displaced water. I'm just going to take this to be water. And because we also know the density of water as 1,000, that's kilograms per meters cube. So 1,000 kilograms per meters cube. That's representing the density of water. What we're going to do then is to find the mass and the weight of the displaced water. And if we use this formula, if we just go back to this formula that says density is equal to mass divided by volume, therefore we can rearrange this to get what mass is, which is density multiplied by volume. Now, very importantly, where we'll get the volume from, the volume of our displaced water, it's going to be actually the same as the volume of the object, because it's the object that will take up that space. So the displaced water is going to be the same as the volume of our object. So let's find then the mass of our displaced water. And that is going to be where we apply the formula here, density times by volume. Now we know what the density is. We said it's 1,000 kilograms per meters cube And we also know the volume that we calculated previously, which was 0.125. So what's the mass then? It's just 125 kilograms. So that's the mass of the displaced water. So we're going to work out P now, which is our upthrust. And in similar fashion, because we already worked out our mass, which was 125 kilogram, what we now need to do with that is just to multiply that by gravity once again, so as we get its weight as a force. And this, for the water, is going to be 1.23, and that's kilonewtons. This is now representing the force that is pushing up. So what we need to do now is to compare two things. So up top right here, I'm circling with the white, that's the weight of the object that we're putting in the water to sink or float. And down here is the upthrust, which is the resisting force. And if you can observe carefully here, you will see that the upthrust, it's significantly smaller than the weight of the object. So we can just conclude that since the force of the upthrust is lesser than the weight or the force of the object, then the object will sink. So that's literally a statement that you would write, that since either way you can put it, you can say that the weight of the object is greater than the weight or the force of the upthrust, therefore the object will sink, and you just phrase it something like that, and that will be enough to prove that this object will sink.